Close your eyes and open them in the year 1900. It's just before sunrise, and New York is already stirring. The sky over the harbor is the color of a fresh bruise, deep blue fading to gray. Gas lamps still glow along the cobblestone streets, hissing softly. The air smells of coal smoke, salt water, and horses. Somewhere, a church bell rings 6 times. This is the largest, loudest, richest, and poorest city in America. 3.5 million people are about to wake up, and you're going to spend the day with them. By 6:30, the streets belong to the workers. Milkmen guide their horses down the avenues, glass bottles clinking. Newsboys, some no older than 8, grab their stacks and start shouting the morning headlines. Bakers pull hot bread from ovens in basement shops. The clop of hooves on stone is everywhere, because in 1900, the automobile is still a rich man's toy. This city runs on horses, more than 100,000 of them, and you can smell every one. The elevated train roars past overhead, showering sparks and cinders onto the street below. People duck instinctively. Nobody looks up. They're used to it. Turn down into the Lower East Side, and the city changes. Here, in a few crowded blocks, live hundreds of thousands of immigrants, Italians, Jews, Poles, Irish, packed into narrow brick tenements. Laundry hangs on lines strung between the buildings, blocking out the sky. Families of 8 share 2 rooms. Children play in the gutters because there is nowhere else. The streets are a river of noise and life. Pushcart vendors line the curbs selling pickles, fish, fabric, bread, shouting prices in a dozen languages. This is the doorway to America, and for the people here, the dream is still just a rumor. But they believe it. By 8 o'clock, the whole city is moving. Men in bowler hats and long coats stream toward the ferries and the elevated platforms. Women in long dresses and wide hats carry baskets to market. Streetcars packed shoulder to shoulder rattle down Broadway. On the corner, a policeman in a tall helmet directs the chaos with a whistle and a wave. Above it all, the Brooklyn Bridge stretches across the East River, 17 years old, and still the most astonishing thing anyone has ever built. Thousands cross it on foot every morning, hats down against the wind off the water. Downtown, the money never sleeps. On Wall Street, men shout across the floor of the stock exchange, waving paper, making and losing fortunes before lunch. This is where America's new wealth is being forged. Railroads, steel, oil. The buildings are climbing higher every year, reaching toward a skyline the world has never seen before. They're calling them skyscrapers, and people come from around the world just to stand at the bottom and look up. A short carriage ride away, on 5th Avenue, is another world entirely. Here, the mansions rise like European palaces, marble, iron gates, liveried servants. The Vanderbilts, the Astors, the richest families in the country, live behind these walls. A woman steps from a polished carriage in silk and furs, and a doorman rushes to meet her. In this New York, dinner has 12 courses, and the champagne never runs dry. Just a few miles from the tenements, the distance might as well be 1,000. At noon, the city eats. The markets are chaos: fishmongers, butchers, fruit stalls, the smell of everything at once. Oyster carts sell a dozen for pennies, because in 1900, oysters are poor man's food. Workers crowd into saloons for the free lunch, all you can eat if you buy a 5-cent beer. Steam rises from food carts. Everyone is talking, bargaining, laughing, arguing. The city is loud in a way we can barely imagine today. Out in the harbor, a ship is coming in. It's crowded with immigrants who have crossed the Atlantic in steerage, the cheapest, darkest part of the ship. They press against the rails as the Statue of Liberty rises out of the morning haze. Some weep, some pray. Many are seeing her for the first time, and they understand exactly what she means. Behind her, the skyline of Manhattan glitters the promise and the gamble of a whole new life. The afternoon belongs to labor. In factories and sweatshops, thousands bend over sewing machines and workbenches for 12 hours a day. Down at the docks, longshoremen haul cargo from ships lining the piers. Boys carry telegrams at a run. Everyone works, and everyone is tired, and the city keeps demanding more. But there's beauty in it too, the light slanting gold between the buildings, the endless motion, the sense that something enormous is being built here, right now, by all of these hands at once. As the sun drops, the city softens. The gas lamps are lit again, one by one. And in the newest parts of town, electric lights begin to glow, a miracle so recent that people still stop to stare. Theaters open their doors along Broadway, couples stroll, the horses slow. The smell of dinner drifts from 1,000 windows. For a moment, the rich and the poor and the newly arrived all share the same sky. And out at the edge of the city, the night is just beginning. Coney Island blazes with electric light, thousands of bulbs outlining towers and rides against the dark. Music, laughter, the roar of the crowd. For a nickel, a factory worker can escape into a world of pure spectacle. It is the most dazzling thing most of them will ever see. Late now, the crowd's thin, the last streetcar rattles home. New York, 1900, finally rests for a few hours. In the tenements, in the mansions, on the ships in the harbor, 3.5 million people sleep under the same stars, dreaming very different dreams. Tomorrow, the city will wake and do it all again. But it will never be quite the same, because this New York, this exact moment, is standing right on the edge of the modern world, about to change forever. You were there, just for a day. If you could walk one street in 1900 New York, the tenements, Fifth Avenue, or the harbor as the ship came in, which would you choose? Tell me below. And if you'd like to spend a day somewhere else in history, subscribe. There's a whole world and a whole past still waiting.